SunSay DPhoto Studio presents the picturesque landscapes of the Emerald Island of Ireland. Everyone dreams of flying.
Today, you will rise above the picturesque landscapes of Ballybunion in the north of County Kerry. They say birds have it good because they see the world from above. But I know something else. Birds are jealous of drones. We fly quietly, smoothly, without wings or feathers. Yet we see just as much, if not more, because flight angles are chosen by professional artists. Photographers, videographers, and painters.
In recent years, landscape artists have discovered camera drones, giving birth to a new branch of visual art.
Aero Painting.
It brings a fresh breath to the tradition of Aeropittura. Aeropittura was founded by Italian futurists back in the 1920s, when artists first took to the skies as passengers in airplanes to observe the world from a bird's eye view. Today, anyone holding a drone becomes not just a passenger, but both pilot and artist, seeing the world as birds do, not just imagining it. You can fly wherever you like, to where it's beautiful, where new horizons open. And you can capture these thrilling flights in photos and videos for yourself, for memory, or to give others the chance to see the world from above.
So let's set off together on a flight over the stunning scenery of Ballybunion, located in the north of County Kerry in Western Ireland. A journey through landscapes where every stone holds history and every wave carries a piece of legend. Ballybunion is a place where the power of the ocean, the charm of Irish land, and the magic of old tales meet. And of course, a place where even the wind sometimes pauses to admire the beauty around. It's also a town recently discovered by hundreds of Ukrainians who found a second home here in the 2 local hotels and private houses. The Irish, a people with the same stubborn love of freedom as us Ukrainians, welcomed us not just with words, but with generosity and warmth. But enough lyrical introductions. Let's start the drone engines. Fasten your seatbelts because we're flying. Today, our route will take us past the ruins of Ballybunion Castle along the men's and ladies' beaches to Virgin Rock, Nuns Beach, the legendary 9 Daughters Hole, and finally, to the green seas of Ballybunion Golf Club, one of the most famous in the world.
First location, Ballybunion Castle. On the wild Atlantic coast, where waves rise as if to personally greet every traveler, stands Ballybunion Castle, or at least what remains of it. One wall, but what a wall. A wall that holds half a millennium of history, storms, uprisings, poets, and perhaps even a few ghosts still arguing over which beach is better, men's or ladies. The castle was built by the Fitzmaurice family, the Earls of Kerry, around 1500. Not just built, but placed to dominate the sea and control the coastline. Honestly though, I think the Earls just wanted the best view from the window. Who wouldn't? The town of Ballybunion, from the Irish Bale and Egg, owes its name to the Bunyan family who owned these lands. And like every true Irishman, They knew that without a good story and legend, nothing works. The fortress has survived a lot. Defense against pirates, uprisings, and the ravages of time. In 1582, during the Desmond Rebellion, it was destroyed. Yet the spirit of the castle, Irish, stubborn, still stands. As the locals say, if you want to see what true resilience looks like, look at this wall. It stands and complains not. Almost like Ukraine, standing unyielding.
Second location, Nine Daughters Hole. From Ladies Beach to Virgin Rock runs a favorite trail for walks and runs. It also leads to a spot the Irish tell all tourists about. Sometimes truth, sometimes legend, sometimes something in between. This place is called Nine Daughters Hole. Yes, daughters. It sounds softer, more melodic, and generally more Irish, because the Irish always do everything their own way. And now, the legend. They say that once upon a time, a cruel chieftain ruled these lands. He had 9 daughters, beautiful, smart, but stubborn as the Atlantic wind. And according to the legend, all 9 fell in love with the same boy, or 9 different ones, or with the sea, or with freedom. Versions differ depending on who tells the story and how much Guinness they've had. One day they ran away, for love, adventure, or simply to avoid listening to their dad. Fate was cruel. Their boat got caught in a storm, and the sea swept them into a huge cast cave. That's how the name Nine Daughters Hole came about. The Irish say, better to have 9 daughters than 9 sons-in-law. Ukrainians say, better to have freedom than an empire over your head. And here, the Irish and Ukrainians understand each other perfectly. Though the legend is sad, the place itself is breathtaking. A giant natural shaft carved by the ocean in the cliffs, looking as if the earth itself opened its mouth and said, "Wow, what video are you shooting today?"
Third location, Virgin Rock and Nuns Beach. Virgin Rock. If the Atlantic is an artist, Virgin Rock is its most famous sculpture. This stone arch stands among the waves, like a guardian of a convent or an ancient giant keeping the secrets of the coast. The camera circles the rock, the sea roars, seagulls argue over who's the star today, and the wind quietly sings its own song. They say the second arch, Virgin Rock's sister, long ago fell into the sea. But knowing Irish legends, I wouldn't be surprised if someone tomorrow claims it just went on a trip to America. The story of the name has 2 versions. The rock was so perfectly shaped that it was called Virgin. Or, a nun once stood on the shore, looked at the elements and said, "No, I'm not climbing in there, let it be a rock." And that's how it stuck. Nuns Beach, a true masterpiece of nature, hidden between high cliffs. Getting there isn't easy, by boat or a rope-lined trail that tests how much you trust your hands and feet. They say nuns once rested here, in silence, peace, and the company of wind and waves. In modern terms, you might call it private VIP spa with maximum safety and minimum people. When the drone flies over Nuns Beach, The tiny golden sand seems like a portal to a world without rush or fuss. Even the waves come slowly, as if not to disturb the visitors. We'll return once more to Nine Daughters Hole, now from above, to see how the ocean's grandeur turns stone into art. And we tell ourselves, the Atlantic can paint as well as any artist. Final location, Ballybunion Golf Club, teleporting to the green gem of North Kerry, Ballybunion Golf Club. It's not just a golf course. It's an international shrine for golfers, a place where the grass is straighter than politics, and the hills taller than beginner ambitions. Founded in 1893, the club has survived Atlantic storms, economic storms, and even storms of novice golfers trying to hit a hole from impossible distances. Players have included Irish ministers, American presidents, European aristocrats, and even those who just needed a good excuse to escape into nature. Ballybunion Golf Club ranks among the best golf courses in the world. Its landscape is a masterpiece. Green waves of hills rolling down to the shore, where the distant roar of the Atlantic adds epic flair to every shot. The drone rises above the fairways, flies over the clubhouse, and descends to the shore. Cashin Beach is visible, and the Feel River winds through Kerry's valleys like Ukraine's Dnipro through the steppe, stubborn, grand, and free. From above, you can see Ballybunion Castle and the entire town, small yet proud. Just like two nations, Ireland and Ukraine, small on the map, but mighty in spirit and love of freedom. Today we've seen Ireland as the wind, birds, and drones see it, alive, wild, and free. And in these landscapes, there's something shared with Ukraine. The strength of the land, the pain of history, and the resilience of its people. Thank you, Ireland, for your friendship. Thank you, Ukraine, for your strength, your friendship. And thank you, Ukraine, for your Ireland, for your friendship. Ukraine, for your SunSay DPhoto Studio, Ireland's leading ground and aerial filming studio. We create Aero Paintings, landscapes, advertising, and tourist collages, and also produce photo albums for kindergartens and school graduates. We professionally shoot children, family events, celebrations, weddings, sports competitions. We offer high-quality printing on photo paper, canvas, clothing, dishes, and stone, and full video editing and photo post-production. SunSay DPhoto Studio, where every frame becomes a story.